Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jai Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jai Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashota Shri Srimad Abhaya Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashota Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sekaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jagannath Puri Ki Ganga Mai Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulasi Devi Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Taking over the world with Srila Prabhupada's National Book Distribution and Divarnashram Farm Committees Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamati Namane. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 28, text number 28. Kaumodakīm bhagavataḥ dayitāṁ smareta digdhām arāti-bhaṭa-śoṇita-kardamena mālāṁ madhuvrata-varūtha-girā upaghuṣṭāṁ caityasya tattvam amalam maṇim asya kaṇṭhe kaumodakīṁ bhagavato dayitāṁ smareta digdhām arāti-bhaṭa-śoṇita-kardamena mālāṁ madhuvrata-varūtha-giropaghuṣṭāṁ caityasya tattvam amalam maṇimasya kaṇṭhe kaumodakīm bhagavato dayitāṁ smareta digdhām arāti-bhaṭa-śoṇita-kardamena mālāṁ madhuvrata-varūtha-giropaghuṣṭāṁ caityasya tattvam amalam maṇimasya kaṇṭhe kaumodakīm bhagavato dayitāṁ smareta digdhām arāti-bhaṭa-śoṇita-kardamena mālāṁ madhuvrata-varūtha-giropaghuṣṭāṁ caityasya tattvam amalam maṇimasya kaṇṭhe. Mataji? Is it Mataji? No. Kaumodakīṁ bhagavato dayitām smareta digdhām arāti-bhaṭa-śoṇita-kardamena mālāṁ madhuvrata-varūtha-giropaghuṣṭāṁ caityasya tattvam amalam maṇim asya kaṇṭhe kaumodakīm. The club name Kaumodakī. Bhagavataḥ, the personality of Godhead. Dayitāṁ, very dear. Smareta, one should remember. Digdhām, smeared. Arāti, of the enemies. Bhaṭa, soldiers. Śoṇita-kardamena, with the bloodstains. Mālāṁ, the garland. Madhuvrata, of bumblebees. Varūtha, of a swarm. Girā, with the sound. Upaghuṣṭām, surrounded. Caityasya, of the living entity. Tattvam, principle, truth. Amalam, pure. Maṇim, the pearl necklace. Asya, of the Lord. Kaṇṭhe, on the neck. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The yogi should meditate upon his club, which is named Kaumodakī, and is very dear to him. This club smashes the demons, who are always inimical soldiers, and is smeared with their blood. One should also concentrate on the nice garland on the neck of the Lord, which is always surrounded by bumblebees with a nice buzzing sound. And one should meditate upon the pearl necklace on the Lord's neck, which is considered to represent the pure living entities who are always engaged in His service. Purport. The yogi must contemplate the different parts of the transcendental body of the Lord. Here it is stated the constitutional position of the living entities should be understood. There are two kinds of living entities mentioned here. One is called arāti. They are averse to understanding the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For them, the Lord appears with His hand clutching the terrible mace, which is always smeared with the bloodstains from His killing of demons. Demons are always sons, are also sons of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, all different species of living entities are sons of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are, however, two classes of living entities who act in two different ways. The Supreme Personality of Godhead keeps on His neck those living entities who are pure, as one protects jewels and pearls on the bosom and neck of one's body. Those living entities in pure Krishna consciousness are symbolized by the pearls on his neck. Those who are demons and are inimical toward the pastime of the personality of Godhead are punished by His mace, which is always smeared with the blood of such fallen living entities. The club of the Lord is very dear to Him because He uses this instrument to smash the bodies of the demons and mix their blood. As mud is kneaded with water and earth, so the earthly bodies of the enemies of the Lord or the atheists is smashed by the club of the Lord, which becomes muddled with blood of such demons. Om ajnana timirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadam Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utafadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sandubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamanati Namine Harijana Ganabadi Gnana Karmanda Hari Prakatita Parabhaktir Bhakti Siddhanta Kantihi Vinaya Nikara Lakshmir Nimna Maidera Gamyo Bhuvijayati Vikaso Bhakti Purvo Yatindraha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamanati Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyati Deshatarine Vagisha Yasya Vadane Lakshmir Yasya Chavakshisi Yasyasya Hidaye Samvit Tamra Simham Aham Bhaje. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so this verse, the Srimad Bhagavatam is speaking about how one should meditate upon the transcendental form of the Supreme Lord, of his keeping his devotees on his neck and smashing and killing the demons with his club smeared in blood. So this is very amazing, actually, to think that there's nothing lacking in the Srimad Bhagavatam. We got love stories, we got some, some philosophical parts, and we also got some horror stories, and we also got some action. So there's no need for this mundane garbage literature that's available in this world. That's why the Bhagavatam calls all this other garbage is Vayasa Tirtha. Simply, those are places where crows enjoy. But this, Tadvag Visargo Janataga Viplavo, this Srimad Bhagavatam gives you everything that you need. I remember the first time I was reading Krishna book, I was thinking this is so far out. I mean, to think of Krishna and Balaram creating rivers of blood with one of the Akshohinis of Jarasandha. That was amazing. And like their arms are the fish, and their crowns are like the like the stones in the river of blood that was created just by two of them. I thought, wow, this is far out. Better than any action movie that you'll ever see. So this is very amazing that the Supreme Lord, there's nothing lacking. That Srila Prabhupada always says, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What does this mean? That he's supremely personal. That means, when he gets pissed off, he gets really pissed off. He takes his club and smashes the demons and grinds them and, makes a pulp out of them. We see like this. We see that, I was thinking that, one pastime I was thinking where Lord Krishna uses his club is to fight with Dantavakra. Jiva Goswami, I was reading, my Guru Maharaj actually gave a series of lectures, more than 1,000 lectures on the different names of Lord Vishnu, following the footsteps of Baldev Vidyabhushan. In our Sampradaya, Srila Prabhupada wrote the Bhagavad Gita, very much in line with Baldev Vidyabhushan especially. So Baldev Vidyabhushan also commented on each of the names of Lord Vishnu. And one of the names of Lord Vishnu is Kaumodakī. Which means it's the person who holds the Kaumodakī club. So in that, the Acharyas comment and they say that Kaumodakī is actually the queen of all clubs. That you'd expect it to be a male personality, but Kaumodakī is a female. She's the queen of all clubs, and all clubs come from her. So in this lecture, I was just saying, my Guru Maharaj was referencing to Srila Jiva Goswami. He says that when Dantavakra came to fight with Krishna. In the Bhagavatam, Shishupala is given a lot of time, whereas Dantavakra is given a few lines. But Jiva Goswami comments in his Gopal Champu, he comments that Krishna fought with Dantavakra for 1 day and 1 night. He fought with him. And he took great pleasure in smashing him again and again with his club. So Krishna gets great pleasure in smashing the demons. It's like, we feel very happy when we defeat the atheists and, all these amazing things. So, there's so much rasa. The Srimad Bhagavatam is full of amazing rasas. And the more a person absorbs themselves in this rasa, the more they actually can relish the highest mellows of transcendental devotional service. So much so that the enjoyment of material existence becomes completely useless. That's why Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishva nivartate. Then a person, when he gets a higher taste of Krishna consciousness, then he gives up the lower taste without any difficulty. So what is the difficulty? Prabhupada would say this so many times. What is the difficulty? There is no difficulty. If we simply read the Srimad Bhagavatam and apply these principles in our life, it's very amazing. We can contemplate on so many things in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is completely a person. He's always a person. And everything about Krishna is amazing, especially when he, when he fights the demons, when he kills the demons. So one may ask, is Krishna being what's it called, partial towards his devotees? Is he being partial to his devotees? Every time the demigods have a problem, they all come to Krishna and or Vishnu, and then Vishnu comes and he kills the demons for them. Every time, and the demons never learn. That's what's the most amazing thing. They think somehow after since eternity Vishnu has been defeating us, but this time we got it. This time we'll defeat Vishnu. This time we got it. But it's completely bogus. They never get to do such a thing. And before, every time, we can see when Krishna is fighting a war, the demons tell him, now you're going to go to the abode of Yamaraj, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And in one of Krishna's battles, he tells him, real heroes, fight with their arrows. Real heroes fight with their arrows. They don't fight with words. So, Krishna completely destroys him. It was Kashiraj. He sends his neck flying into the capital of a city for all his citizens to see. So when Krishna gets into action, he really gets into action. So we say that this Kaumodakī club, she is also used by Balaram. Balaram also uses it. One famous pastime of Balaram using the club is when this Balvala demon is flying over and contaminating the yajna of the different rishis. He prays for his. He's on pilgrimage. You don't usually get violent when you're on a pilgrimage, but Balaram can do whatever he wants. So he asked his plow and his club to come, and when the plow and the club came, while the demon was flying, he extended his hand, pulled the demon down with his club and smash with his plow and smash it with his club. So we see Lord Balaram also uses this club in many different ways. So in this purport, we're seeing that Srila Prabhupada is speaking about two different kinds of people. That one, those people who like to hear the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and those who don't like to hear, those who are averse to hearing. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Dvobhuta sargo loke ismin daiva asara evacha daivo visarashav prokta asuram partha meshano. There's two types of people, the divine and the demoniac. And the demoniac are the kinds of people who don't like to listen about Krishna, don't like to worship Krishna. These are the different types of people. So we see also in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, there's two kinds of people. Again, this is also there and given in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Evam pravartitam chakram nanu vartaya tihaya aghayor indriya rama mogha parthasa jivati. That he says, there's two types of people. One are the people who perform yajna. The people who go and perform yajna. They go and perform the sacrifices for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the second type are those who are completely sinful, aghayur indriya rama. They're completely absorbed in committing sinful activities. Aghayur indriya rama. All they care about is indriya rama, giving pleasure to their own senses. Aghayur indriya rama, moga parthasa jivati. That these people are completely bewildered and illusioned. So we say that these people who are bewildered and illusioned, they're punished by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whereas the devotees, no matter what happens, Krishna always takes care of them because they actually have shelter. So in this regard, Bali Maharaj actually says in this Canto 8, Chapter 22, text number 5, he prays to Lord Vamana, saying that most of the times the demons are upset that you always come and you always defeat us and you always are in the favor of the demigods. But what he says is, what the demons don't understand is you're doing us the biggest favor. Why are you doing us the biggest favor? Because you're ridding us of our material opulence and you're giving us, helping us understand, how useless this whole material existence is. Every time Krishna defeats the demons, and Prabhupada writes in that purport that he gets rid of the false prestige of the demons. He gets rid of the false prestige of the demons. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami comments, he writes a verse glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a famous verse written by Sridhar Swami actually. He says, Ugropya nugra evayam subhaktanam rikeshari keshari vasapotanam anyesham ugra vikramaha. That the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can be compared to a lion. A lion, when let's just say a lioness, if she wants to kill a living entity, that mouth becomes like death. She goes and she kills a deer with her mouth. Whereas if she wants to protect her living entities, she holds the cubs with her teeth. The same mouth which is used for killing the living entities is used for protecting her own cubs. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is like that. That he's the same person, we can see in his hands, he has a club, a disc, a lotus, and a conch. And he uses the club and the disc to annihilate the demons, where he uses the lotus and the conch to bless the devotees. We see this even in Dhruva Maharaj's pastimes. Dhruva Maharaj, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his heart, and he opens his, and he realizes the Supreme Lord is not there, and he opens his eyes, and he sees the Supreme Lord is standing in front of him. So and he's completely stunned. He doesn't know how to offer praise. He's a 5-year-old boy. And then the Supreme Personality of Godhead keeps his conch on Dhruva Maharaj's head. And then, he gets the inspiration. He glorifies the Supreme Personality of Godhead so amazingly. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is equal to everyone. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. He's equal to everyone. His killing and his rewarding is the same. His killing and his rewarding is the same. One cannot find any difference. He's so kind to the demons that he's getting rid of their material desires. He's getting rid of their material desires. So, we see this, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he awards however the people surrender, or the living entity surrender unto him. We see this. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Yayatam mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. However the living entities surrender unto him, he rewards them accordingly. So if they're a karmi, depending on how they act, he rewards them accordingly. But there's this verse in the Brahma Samhita where he says, Yadrishi shraddha siddhir bhavati tadrishi. He says, the degree of faith that you have, to that degree you will attain siddhi or perfection. So the degree of faith that a person has in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to that degree they can attain perfection. So we see that those living entities who had so much faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are compared to the beautiful necklace that the Lord wears around his neck. The beautiful necklace that the Lord wears around his neck. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead protects and cares for this. And I was reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam just recently that it says, Shri Lakshana Kaustuba Ratanam, which means that the Supreme Personality of Godhead wears the Kaustuba money, and on the Kaustuba gem is engraved a small calf. The calf, like the baby cow, a calf, is engraved on this beautiful Kaustuba money. And that's around his neck. That's very, very beautiful. How would we understand all this if there's not information about the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the Srimad Bhagavatam? So when we take to the Srimad Bhagavatam, when we read the Srimad Bhagavatam, we get all this amazing knowledge which would have been otherwise unavailable to the living entities. How would we know that the Supreme Personality of God on his Kaustuba gem is a small calf is engraved on the back of the Kaustuba gem? How would we know? We would never know. We would never know these things. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he manifests his pastimes on this earth, he helps all the living entities become completely attracted. No matter what kind of a person you are, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has performed pastimes to attract you. No matter what kind of a person you are. That's why these Vedic literatures are so important. And when people take to this Krishna consciousness, they understand this. In this verse itself, it's being said that the club of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a principle of intelligence. It's a principle of intelligence. That we see that the Kaumodakī, this club of the Supreme Lord, it helps one understand intelligence, and we see intelligence also means you understand what to do and what not to do. It's like the law. If you break the law, you're going to get punished. So it's a principle of intelligence. So in this day and age, the most intelligent thing for all living entities to do, according to the Srimad Bhagavatam, is to perform the Sankirtan Yajna. We see Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangasa Parshadam Yajna Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Hi Sumedasaha. If you're intelligent and not dumb, you will perform the Sankirtan Yajna. That's the smartest thing for anyone to do. We see in that verse, there's the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes with all his weapons. Sango Pangasa Parshadam. One of his weapons of Lord Chaitanya is his beauty. That is one of his weapons. No one is as beautiful as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why Prakashananda Saraswati glorifies Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, Anandi Leela Maya Vigrahaya Hema Badhivya Chavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. He says, my dear Lord, you're so beautiful. All your pastimes, they're full of Chinmaya Rasa. They're completely full of transcendental bliss. And your form is like the beautiful golden form, like molten gold. It's like turmeric. It's very, very beautiful, the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So his beauty is like that. And then he comes down with his weapons. And his weapons, they are meant to annihilate all living entities. They're meant to annihilate all living entities' sinful desires. Before in the previous yugas, we can see the Kaumodakī is used to smash the demons and grind them to a pulp, and it's decorated with the blood of the demons. That's amazing. But in Kali Yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead's weapons, they transform into the Sankirtan Yajna. Performing the Yajna, the Sankirtan Yajna, it destroys all the sinful desires of the living entities. It completely destroys their sinful desires. We can see, just when Srila Prabhupada came, he's a lone warrior. What did he come with? He came by himself. He came on the Jaladuta aboard. He aborted the Jaladuta by himself. There were so many, he had 2 heart attacks. So many things were apparently going wrong. But he was a lone warrior who came alone with the sword of knowledge. The sword of knowledge. He came with the treasure house of love of God. And the treasure house of love of God was his suitcase. Those who are fortunate can go and see one of the trunks that Srila Prabhupada came with in the Los Angeles. It's in this temple. That's the treasure house of love of God. And that treasure house, Prabhupada came with the sword of knowledge in his hand. And with the sword of knowledge, Srila Prabhupada fought tirelessly day and night to establish the Krishna consciousness movement. Day and night, Srila Prabhupada fought with the sword of knowledge. And destroying all the living entities Material desires, destroying the living entities, material desires, slashing their contaminated hearts, and his sword is decorated with the blood of the contaminated hearts of the living entities. Srila Prabhupada's sword. So if we see this, he came with the sword of knowledge in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's meant to destroy all our unwanted desires. That's why the Bhagavatam says, Bhidyate hridaya grantha shidhyante sarva samshaya shriyante chasya karmani drishta evatmanishvare. The Srimad Bhagavatam goes and cuts at the root of the heart all our unwanted desires, thus slashing it. So we have to destroy the material desires with the astra, the weapon of Shastra, scriptural knowledge. So Srila Prabhupada came with the astra. He came with the topmost weapon. Yes, it may seem like we're outnumbered. Oh, we're just a couple of devotees. Oh, and there's so many karmis and so many demons. Yes, that may be there, but then we have the best weapons. We have the best weapons. We have the Divyastras. Using this, we can completely annihilate Akshohinis of non-devotees. Completely. We can completely annihilate them. And this is not the type of weapon that simply goes and destroys people's bodies. No, it destroys their material contamination. The Srila Prabhupada's books are like heat-seeking missiles. The minute a person, the book is distributed, from the time the book is printed, the book already knows to whom it has to go. And somehow or the other, the book goes from one place to another, and the book goes and finds a way and completely destroys the material desires of that living entity. And when the living entity reads the book, he wonders, oh Krishna, how have I forgotten you? This is my Guru Maharaj, he writes this in his book, My Memories of Srila Prabhupada. He says, Srila Prabhupada's books are heat-seeking missiles. If they know where to go, they know how to come and destroy completely the material desires of the people. That's why, we distribute books to people, and it just looks like, oh, they're like nice guys. We are just monks, just coming here to just give you some books and this and that. But they don't know. They don't know what they're getting. When these people who are completely addicted to sinful life are making their plans to enjoy the material world more, somehow or the other, a big bomb called the Srimad Bhagavatam falls on their lap and destroys their material life. We've seen this happen to so many people. They're carrying, somehow or the other, something happens, I don't know what it is, but somehow they just get convinced, say, okay, yeah, here's $300, boom. And they just take a Srimad Bhagavatam, and it completely changes the course of their entire life. Like, what just happened? Something is going to happen. Something crazy is going to happen. The more we distribute sets of Srimad Bhagavatam, the more the weapon of the Supreme Lord is smashing the non-devotees, smashing them and bashing them, completely destroying their material desires. The books are going out. Somehow and Prabhupada said, look, even if all of you want to leave the temple, you can leave the temple. But the fire has already been set. The fire has already been set. Even if you leave, so many books have been distributed that people will read the books and again come back and fill back the temple. I was listening to this memory of Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He said that Prabhupada told him, they think this old man is simply sitting on his bed and he's dying. But little do they know that he's playing his Brihat Mridanga, and this Brihat Mridanga is traveling all over the world. It's traveling all over the world. Little do they know. What do they know? They are thinking, oh, it's just some books. Okay, no one reads books these days. That's another misconception. No one reads books these days. No, they read books, and you never know the effect of what's going to happen. Just like these fires which were going on in LA. Were set in one place, and then what did you say those things are? They fly 50 miles away. Huh? Embers. The embers are flying from one place to another and going and setting fire somewhere else, and then going and setting fire somewhere else. So we never know. We distribute books. They're like embers. They boom. They're going to go somewhere else and they're going to set fire to people's material life. Yes, this is transcendental warfare. This is transcendental warfare. And this warfare is not fought by weapons. No, it's fought by weapons made of fire or water or air or anything. These weapons they are manifested from the dictaphone of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. These are the weapons which have manifested from His dictaphone. And they're very powerful weapons. They can completely destroy the lives of the living entities. And these weapons can go and annihilate all living entities. And usually a weapon, you shoot it, you kill a guy, it's done. But then you distribute books to someone, they read it, they become devotees, and they leave the books at home and they go and join the temple. And then their son reads it, and he may also become a devotee. And and he goes and joins the temple. I want to join the Brahmacharya ashram. Sorry, we don't have room for your Bhagavatam set. Distribute it. And they go distribute those books. These books have unlimited eternal effect. These weapons, that Srila Prabhupada has given us. These are the Divyastras. They are completely transcendental weapons meant to completely destroy the living entity's material life. And in this regard, there's this really amazing pastime of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada. Those who are avid listeners of Prabhupada memories, I'm a big fan. Every time we take prasadam or traveling Sankirtan, like, instead of talking or something, we put Prabhupada memories and we're taking prasadam. And that's really, when you're distributing books, you're in Sankirtan, and you want to stay in the same consciousness, while you're taking prasadam, just what Prabhupada memories. And almost every memory of Srila Prabhupada, there's something about book distribution, for sure. Right? How Prabhupada always spoke about books somehow, or maybe I'm just a fanatic, or maybe I am, but I have no shame in declaring that. So we see over here, there is a, can I put this up, any chance? Or is it going to take like 5 minutes? No? Okay. So there's this amazing pastime of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He was, this was his last Pandal program. He was doing his Vrajamandala Parikrama. And he was giving this amazing talk to his devotees. He's giving, and in front of him was a huge ocean of saffron. Sannyasis, brahmacharis, you know, all the big guns, you know, all of them, of the Gaudiya Math, they were there. I'm sorry, my phone is ecstatic sometimes. Okay, let's see if it works. So they were all there lining up, waiting to receive the instructions of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And for a moment, I want to read, okay, I'm unable to, can I just send it to you? Can you put it up? Okay, sorry. So there's this Sripad Nayanananda Babaji, formerly known as Sat Prasanga Brahmachari, related the following anecdote. And I'm going to put this up right now. Okay. I'm going to send this to Prabhuji here. Okay. So we see over here that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says the following things. And maybe some devotees never heard this, so this may be a special treat coming from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I'll start reading it. And then, you know, if you can put it up, please put it up. Sripad Nayanananda Babaji, Srila Prabhupada's very dear god brother, related the following anecdote. The last year that our Gurudev, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, organized and performed digdhām Parikrama. Okay. Thousands of pilgrims assembled at our Chanapahati temple. There was an entire village of tents stretching in all directions. On the afternoon of the last day, one of our god brothers had just arrived in Navadvip, recently come from London by ship. He had gone there to preach, but had returned without meeting full success. That evening, during his lecture, Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, explained his earnest desire that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings be spread in the Western countries. He said that this was the last request of his mother, Srimati Bhagavati Devi, to him before she left this world. And indeed it would happen. Consequently, he had been willing to take the lifeblood of the Gaudiya Math funds to send devotees there, yet their attempts had been largely unsuccessful. At that point in his talk, I noticed something mysterious happening. Guru Maharaj had been looking out at the packed crowd of devotees, especially in the front, where there were all sannyasis and brahmacharis in red cloth wear. Then he turned his head and looked over to his left side, where I was standing. He was looking intently at someone and became silent for some time. I happened to look behind me and saw that the person whom he was making eye contact with was Abhay Charanaravindra Prabhu. I felt that they were looking at each other in a special way. Then Guru Maharaj turned and again addressed the audience in front of him and said, "But I have a prediction. However long in the future it may be, one of my disciples will cross the ocean and bring back the entire world." This is Srila Prabhupada's prophecy, and he sure as heck fulfilled it. So this, Srila Prabhupada, I have a small clip of Srila Prabhupada I'd like to play, and I'll stop after this. This is a clip of a small lecture that Srila Prabhupada gave over here in Los Angeles, December 13th, 1973, speaking about this really amazing incident. Let me see if I can. Okay.
It is by His grace I was forced to give up my family life and so-called business life.
Is it?
It is by his grace I was forced to give up my family life and so-called business life. And he brought me somewhere or other in preaching his gospel. So, this is a memorable day. What he deserved. I am trying a little bit, and you are all helping me. So I have to thank you more. You are actually representative of my Guru Maharaj. Because you are helping me in executing the order of my Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much.
So Srila Prabhupada is, sorry about that, Srila Prabhupada is saying here that we are helping him. So we should help him. I'll go to Srila Prabhupada. If there are any questions or comments, we can take them now. Yes.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the class. In regards to Krishna revealing his transcendental form in the Shastra and the glories of the Srimad Bhagavatam, why isn't Krishna revealing his form in other scriptures? And for this reason, can you explain why the Bhagavatam is so amazing in that regard?
Well, the Bhagavatam is the best because it's the best. I mean, why doesn't Krishna reveals something for other people, but it depends on their qualification to hear also. We can see that, depending on the classes of people that are being preached to, there's only certain amount of principles that they have the adhikar to understand. We see that Srila Prabhupada said that for the Muslims, Srila Prabhupada said that, Prophet Muhammad told them that if you're a great person if you don't have sex with your own mother. You don't have to tell that to most ordinary people. But he had to preach that, and he was considered a great saint for that. We can see that even Jesus Christ said in the Bible that there's so many things that I know that I want to tell you, but you're not qualified to hear. But we see the Srimad Bhagavatam is unique because it is spoken to the most qualified people. The most qualified people. Suta Goswami spoke it to the sages of Naimisharanya. They're extremely qualified. Shukadeva Goswami spoke it to Parikshit Maharaj, extremely qualified. Vidura spoke it to Maitreya, extremely qualified. Narada spoke it to Vyas, extremely qualified. So because of the audience who this message was presented to, they're extremely highly realized souls, it's that causes mercy upon us that Krishna fully reveals himself like that. Yes.
And then on that point, we're distributing Srimad Bhagavatam to people much more degraded than even who Muhammad was preaching to.
That's
so
true.
How do they understand? How does it work for them?
It's the causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Golokera premadan harinama sankirtan. Dinahina yata chilo harinama udharilo. Lord Chaitanya is so merciful that he's come to give this knowledge to everyone, if they're qualified or unqualified. It doesn't matter. It's by his mercy. Is that okay? Anything else? Yes, Naikatma.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for that wonderful, wonderful class, especially the last part where Srila Prabhupada is imploring us to help him. Just to add on to your comment about the Bhagavatam is especially meant for this age. That's why it's so special. There's other Vedic literatures certainly that are giving different aspects of the absolute truth, but the Bhagavatam, Krishna Swadhamapagate Dharmagyana, it's especially meant for this age of Kali. That's why everything is there. And it's made in such a very simplistic way, given in such a very profound way by Srila Vyasadeva and Shukadeva Goswami, that anyone and everyone, doesn't matter what your qualification is, can appreciate the personality of Godhead. It's so special.
Yeah, the Bhagavatam is very special, and it was already sweet. It became sweeter with the transcendental purpose of Srila Prabhupada.
And even sweeter.
Even sweeter. Srila Prabhupada's purpose make it, it's completely nectar. We see the same message of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is presented so amazingly by Srila Prabhupada that anyone from any walk of life can appreciate these books?
Anyone.
Any
time, place, or circumstance.
In this regard, I was showing this quote to His Grace Bhagavati Prabhu yesterday, where Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says this very amazing thing. He says, the Gaudiya literature will be translated into all languages of the world by the agents of divine mercy at the appointed time, that our books will be translated. They will also, no doubt, spring up a mighty host of pseudo-exponents of various different literatures. That is expected, but let's see. Okay, as soon, he says this over here, that as soon as a person will have conceived the sincere desire, like Srila Prabhupada, he understood the sincere desire of undertaking the promulgations of the tidings of the Gaudiya literature and peoples of this world, he will be a divine agent. The Gaudiya literature, now he says this is a very amazing thing. He says, the Gaudiya literature will not remain confined to the Bengali-speaking people. It will, in a short time, expand and display its full brilliancy through the medium of all languages. All languages. And now, this is the most far out part, including the languages of the birds, bees, and the vegetable tribes. That's far out. I mean, Satyanarayana Prabhu, Arabic books, great. Now what about vegetable books and bees books and birds books? How? But we can see in the Nectar of Devotion, Krishna's expert in all languages. He's expert at talking to the animals also. So there's languages. So, Prabhupada's books will sometime in the future be translated into vegetable language and bird language and beast language. I hope we're there to see it. Or more than that, to see it, I hope we're there to distribute it, right? That'll be even more amazing.
We'll see about that.
Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
Why some devotees, I notice in the course of time, they are not so much attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam. Is that means then Maya is more attracted than Srimad Bhagavatam?
I'm sorry.
Then Maya is more attracted than Krishna. Krishna is no different from Srimad Bhagavatam. So some devotees are not attracted so much.
Some devotees are not attracted because we're not taking the medicine enough. Syat Krishna nama charitadisitapya vidya pitto pataptara sanasya narochikanu kintvadarādhanu dinam khalu saiva chishta swadvi kramat bhavati tadgata mula hantre. That we need to keep taking the medicine. At least we need to understand that we're disease. And the more we take the medicine, the jaundice of avidya or attraction to Maya will go away and attraction to Krishna will increase. Anything else? Okay. Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Taking another word of Srila Prabhupada Chancellor Book Distribution, Daivan Ashram Farm Committees ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripasindubhya vacha patitanam pavane. Thank you much.
When you said that, I was thinking of the parrots. We have parrots coming every year.
Really?
So
Oh.
they were all on the tree across the street.
Amazing. Yeah.